information. Sue, let me show you a picture that covers about half the world. Can you locate the position of Singapore?
Let me see. This is West Malaysia. So Singapore must be at the southern tip. Here it is.
You're right.
What are those white areas?
The white areas are clouds. This picture is taken from above the clouds. From this picture, you can tell where the clouds are, and pictures taken later will show the direction the clouds are moving. For example, this picture shows a strong wind system called typhoon building up in the ocean. The picture taken later shows that it's blowing towards the Philippines.
How is this picture taken?
It is taken from a satellite which is put into a fixed orbit with the Earth in space. Our meteorological office has a powerful antenna to receive signals from the satellite. The computer helps to process these signals and print out the cloud picture. A cloud picture is printed every 3 hours. The information collected from these weather instruments is stored in the main computer at the Meteorological Forecast Office at Changi Airport.
What do the weathermen do with the information?
The weathermen use the information like the pieces in a jigsaw puzzle and put them all together to get a complete picture of the local weather condition. The Singapore Meteorological Service also exchanges information on local weather conditions with other countries. This means that weather information of other countries is made available to us. In addition to the weather instruments you saw earlier, the Meteorological Office has a weather radar which is capable of showing the rain areas within 250 kilometers from Singapore.
That means it can show whether places like Malacca and Johor are raining.
Yes, the raining areas are shaded with color on the screen. The prediction of the weather is a specialized job, and the people who do that are highly trained and they have years of experience. They are also known as meteorologists. Do you know that the Singapore Meteorological Department provides dial a forecast service to the public? Simply dial 542 7788 and you get the weather forecast, which is valid from 9 to 12 hours.
I'll call that number the next time I decide to go for an outing. Then I will know whether I need an umbrella.
That's a good idea. However, the more important thing about weather forecasts is that they can save lives. In countries like the Philippines, Vietnam, Hong Kong, and parts of the United States, people are given advanced warning on severe storms which are approaching their areas. They are advised not to go to sea. Sometimes they are told to move to higher ground. These storms bring along winds of more than 150 kilometers an hour. Boats and ships in the harbor can also be blown elsewhere. Heavy rain from the storm brings flood. There's a possibility of loss of properties and lives.
Is Singapore affected by this kind of storm?
We are lucky that Singapore is not located in an area where such storms normally strike. But we do get mini storms which can cause floods occasionally. Trees can be uprooted too.
Yes, I remember that.
There's a group of people who depends on weather forecasts in their work.
Who are they?
They are the pilots of ships and aeroplanes. Let's find out from an airline pilot why the weather forecast is important to him.
This flight documentation is available to us before departure, and from a chart such as this one, we can determine areas of favorable or unfavorable weather as forecasted. For example, the area marked out within these lines, which is over China and Japan, indicates that we can probably expect clear air turbulence between 20 and 50,000 feet. Another use of the forecast, as shown in this next chart, is to enable us to get an idea of the winds we will experience. Winds will either increase or decrease the speed of the aeroplane, and therefore affect the amount of fuel it will need to fly from one place to another. Having an idea of the winds therefore helps us to calculate the amount of fuel we need to carry.
Well, if you're flying, you can be assured that the pilot will do his best to give you a smooth flight. But don't forget the weatherman.
I won't, and I know when to call on them.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.